Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. K here with second grade's next lesson from Compass Mark. Hey, just touching base with you guys and want to see if you remember what our last lesson was about. Well, if you said it was about feelings, then you're right. We were talking about being able to name the different things that we feel. And we ended with talking a lot about our pleasant feelings. Do you remember what the pleasant feelings are? Things like feeling happy, excited, surprised, ecstatic, all of those really good things that we like to feel. And I encouraged you to think about what it means to feel proud because we accomplished something. Yeah, that's right. I said we were going to be talking about accomplishing things today, what that means, what does it look like, and I'm wondering if you got to talk with anybody about what an accomplishment is or what it means to accomplish something. Well, in case you didn't get to have that conversation with someone, I have something right here behind me that's going to help us answer that question. We often feel proud, remember one of those pleasant feelings that we have, when we've accomplished something. Now, it says here, I like when I accomplish things. But what is an accomplishment? Well, here's what it is. An accomplishment is when you successfully achieving a goal or finishing something you set out to do. Now, think about some of the things that you set out to do, or maybe a goal that you've had for yourself. When we're little, we might have a goal of learning how to tie our shoes. Once we've learned how to do that, we've accomplished that goal. We can feel proud of ourselves for having done that. Maybe we have a goal to enter an art contest and we draw a beautiful picture and we enter it in the contest and we get first place. Is that an accomplishment? Well, sure, I worked hard at something. I wanted to enter a contest and be the very best, and I got first place, so I accomplished my goal. Maybe I want to get good grades in school. Well, guess what? A++. Is that a good grade? It sure is. So maybe my goal is to get good grades. So I work really hard and I do well on my work and I get good grades. Some people like to run in races. Here's the finish line. My goal was to run a 5K race. Not necessarily to win, but just to say that I ran the race and I made it all the way to the end. Well, here's the finish line. When I crossed that finish line, I accomplished my goal. Now, a real big goal that people might have, when we enter school in kindergarten, what do we want to do at the end of our time in school? Well, we want to make it all the way to 12th grade and graduate. And then we get a high school diploma. That means we finished it all. We made it all the way to the very end. So you see, there's lots of different things that we can accomplish. Some of them are things that we can do in a little bit of time. And some of them are things that take a lot longer to do. It may not take a real long time to enter a contest and win a prize, but it may take a lot longer to get all the way to the end of school and get this piece of paper that says, you did it. You accomplished it all. You made it all the way. So you see, some things are small goals. Some things are much bigger or longer goals. But how do you feel? Think about some of the things that you've accomplished. Maybe it's different from these things here. Think of something that you wanted to be able to do and you worked hard and you got to do it. How did that feel when you were done? I know it usually makes me really happy. I'm excited to share what I've done with others. I think it also makes me feel proud. It makes me feel confident, like I can do anything if I really work hard and put my mind to it. So that's what an accomplishment is. Now, you've heard me say several times while I've been talking about what an accomplishment is, you've heard me talk several times about goals. Now, do you guys know what a goal is? Okay, well, you're probably thinking, well, yeah, it's when somebody kicks the soccer ball into the goal net, right? You got a goal. Well, that is a type of goal. Yes, that's true. But the type of goal I'm talking about is something a little different. The type of goal that I am talking about is something that we decide we want to do, and we set ourselves a goal to do that. So maybe I want to be the best basketball player on the team. So I'm going to set a goal for myself to start learning how to dribble and pass really well. And once I get really good at that, then I'm going to set a goal for myself to get really good at making layup shots where I'm close to the net and I'm bouncing it off the backboard and it's going in. So I set little goals for myself to get better and better at playing the game. Now, goals can be all sorts of things. It can be goals to be a better sports player. It could be a goal to be a better helper around home. Or maybe it's to get better grades in school. Maybe I have a goal to, let's see here. Maybe my goal is to save money. I want to save money because I want something special. And I want to get it myself. So there's lots of different goals that we might have. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of shift our camera this way. I'm going to shift around this way. And we're going to look at our next page over here. Because we looked already at what an accomplishment is. So now we're going to talk here about the setting goals and staying motivated. That's a kind of funny word, isn't it? Motivated. Well, let's talk about setting the goals first. So we did say that some goals are little goals. They only take a little bit of time to reach. So we call those short-term goals. They're short goals, things that we can get accomplished in just a little bit of time. And then you have long-term goals. Those are the big ones that take a lot longer to reach. So often when we have one of those really big, long goals, we can say, here's the big, long goal. Now I'm going to break it down into little pieces, a little bit at a time, till I get all the way out here to the end. All right. So here we go. We have some examples up here of short-term and long-term goals. Our short-term goals are written in blue over here. The first one says, learn how to catch and throw a football. So that's my short-term goal. I want to get really good at throwing a football and catching a football. All right, so that I'm not fumbling it and dropping it all the time. The long-term goal is I want to play on the school team. I want to be good enough that I can play football on the school team. All right, so there's an example of a short-term goal and a long-term goal. Now let's see what our second example is. So under short-term goals, our second example is do chores to earn an allowance. So that's a short-term goal. I can learn what are the chores, what are the things that I can do, and if I follow through and I do those things, then I'll perhaps earn an allowance from my parents. Okay? So that's my short-term goal. I want to do chores around the house so that I can earn some money to do some things. My long-term goal is I want to save my money and buy my own. I'm going to let you fill in the blank there. So short term, I'm going to learn how to do chores so that I can earn money. My long term goal is to save up my money to buy something special that I want, because I want to work for it and I want to earn it and I want to pay for it myself. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. All right. So now the second part of this, it says staying motivated. Do you know what motivation is? Okay. Motivation is having the drive and the energy to do something. Now, staying motivated means this. Staying motivated means sticking with our goals even if it's tough. Sometimes we may have a goal and it might seem too hard for us sometimes to reach. Maybe we're trying to be a better sports player, but we're getting frustrated because we keep doing the same thing and we feel like we're not getting any better. And we keep thinking to ourselves, I am no good at this. I'll never get it. Okay? Do you remember? Here's a good example of this. Do you remember when we were talking about our skills and talents? And we read the story about rollerblading? Remember the young boy in the story, he got frustrated after trying several times with his mom's help. He got frustrated because he felt like, I'm not getting any better. I keep falling down. All I keep doing is falling down. And so he was going to quit, wasn't he? Yeah. Until his big brother came home. And his brother told him about how he fell over and over again until he learned how to do it. And now he's really good at it. So if we would quit when we get frustrated, if we quit right away when we get frustrated and things get tough, are we ever going to learn something new, or are we ever going to reach our goals? No, we won't, will we? So staying motivated means I'm going to stick with it, even when it gets tough. I might need to walk away for a couple minutes and just kind of take some deep breaths and cool my heels because I'm frustrated. But then I'm going to pick myself back up and I'm going to go right back and try it again. Now, another key part to staying motivated is not letting our head get in the way. Do you know what I mean by that? That means sometimes our heads can get in the way because of the thoughts we have inside them. Do you remember what I said? Our friend was going to quit rollerblading because he said, I'm no good at this. This is too hard. I'm never going to get it. Now think about those thoughts I just mentioned. Were those positive things he was thinking, or were those negative things he was thinking? Well, they were negative thoughts, weren't they? And the more negative our thinking is, the harder it is to stay motivated to do something. If we're constantly thinking, I can't do this, then we're going to want to give up and stop trying. So what we have to do when we catch ourselves doing that is stop the negative thinking. We want to stop this negative thinking. We want to get rid of it. Throw it away. So if you catch yourself working on a goal and thinking negative thoughts, thinking, I can't do this, I'm no good at it, it doesn't matter how hard I try, I'm never going to get better at this. If that's what you're thinking, then I challenge you to do this. I want you to write those negative thoughts down on a piece of paper. And then, do you know what I want you to do with that piece of paper? I want you to take it and I want you to crumple it all up in a nice tight ball. And I want you to throw it in the trash. Because you're going to throw away that negative thinking so that you can get right back in there and keep trying again. Sometimes that's what we need to do. We need to throw that negative thinking out, and doing it for real can really help us. When we write those thoughts down here on the paper, we're getting them out of our heads and then down onto the piece of paper. And then when we take that paper and crumple it all up and throw it in the trash, it's like we're saying, that's it. They're out of here. Those thoughts aren't in my head anymore. I've gotten rid of them, and now I can take a deep breath and I can get back to it and I can try again. All right. Do you think that's something that you could do for yourself? I sure think it is. And I think it would help you to start thinking positive again. So now there's the second part of what I want you to do. Once you've written down those negative thoughts and you've crumpled them all up and you've thrown them into the trash, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to sit down and you're going to make yourself a positive poster. A positive poster. You're going to sit down and you're going to draw a poster and you're going to fill it with positive thoughts like, I can do this. I've got this. I'm going to stick with it. I know I can. So you're going to fill that poster with positive messages to yourself. And you can also, maybe if you have some magazines, you can put some motivational pictures on there, things that keep you motivated. Okay. Or maybe you can draw things around it that inspire you and make you happy and make you feel like you want to get out there and you want to work on your goals. Okay, so design that poster, make it colorful, and make it feel like it's driving you to go out there and work on your goals. And when the negative thoughts kick in, you're going to stop them, you're going to throw them out, and you're going to look at your positive poster. Okay. Now, I talked about a lot of things throughout the course of our video here. We've talked about what an accomplishment is. You can see that behind me. We've talked about setting goals. What are the things that you want to do and that you want to accomplish? We've talked about staying motivated and how we need to get rid of the negative thinking and surround ourselves with positive thinking to keep ourselves motivated. So what I want you to do when our lesson is done today is I want you to take some time to think about, what are the goals that you have for yourself? What is it that you want to accomplish? Set a goal for yourself to work on that. Guess what? You have your whole life to work on a whole bunch of different goals. So start off with something on the smaller side. And we'll talk next time about how do we actually break those goals down? What are the steps to take to setting that goal for ourselves and seeing it through till we've accomplished what we set out to do? So I want you to be thinking between now and the next lesson of what are the goals that you have for yourself. And when we get together again, we'll work through the steps to setting that goal and reaching it. Until then, you guys take care, have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.